He is a pugnacious, irascible, uncompromising saint, and you've got to be if you're working in the increasingly wackadoodle halls of power in Washington, D.C. So to all you climate champions out there, here in Vermont and watching us all over the world, I give you our friend, our ally, our champion, Bernie Sanders.
Thank you. Thank you. That was quite the introduction.
One more time.
No, it is great to be here, and thank you all very much for coming out. And in terms of energy, which is why you're here today, let me say a few words about that. And I speak as I'm an independent, as you know, in the Senate. But I caucus with the Democrats, and I'm the only member of the majority sitting on both the environmental and energy committees. So this is what I want to tell you. Number one, you all know that global warming is real. And not only is it real, and not only do we have to worry about the impacts of global warming in the coming decades, please understand that global warming is having a devastating impact in this country today and all around the world. We're looking at extreme weather disturbances of a kind we have never ever seen before. 48 states in the country had extreme weather disturbances, floods, droughts, in which the president had to sign emergency relief for those states. All around the world, we're looking at drought, we're looking at flood, we're looking at the migration of people. When you talk about global warming, understand that it is a security issue. U.S. Department of Defense, the CIA, worries what happens when natural resources decline, when people can't get the water that they need, when they can't grow food. It lays the groundwork for wars all over this world. So the bad news is global warming is real. And if we don't get our act together, it will only get worse. Extreme weather disturbances, flooding, drought, lack of food, lack of water. That's the bad news. But let me give you the good news. The good news, if we are aggressive in responding to climate change, if we get heavily involved in weatherization, if we move aggressively in such sustainable energies as wind, solar, geothermal, and biomass and other technologies that are out there. This is what we can do. Number one, we cut greenhouse gas emissions, obviously. Number two, we create jobs in Vermont and in the United States of America rather than in Saudi Arabia. And right now, all of you should know and be proud that per capita, the state of Vermont now has more green jobs than any other state in America. When you move toward energy efficiency, and we as a state are leading the nation in energy efficiency. I have talked to many working people, many older people, who have seen their homes weatherized, made more energy efficient. Their fuel bills are going down by 20, 30, 40%. So what we have got to do and what we are working on right now is coming up with the financing to help every person in the state who needs that $10,000 or $15,000 to weatherize their home, get that money and pay it off as their fuel bills go down. It's called on-bill financing, has huge potential. So weatherization, energy efficiency is enormous. Also, there is great opportunities in the state for solar. You're seeing more solar panels all over the state of Vermont? We are. They're growing. And our goal is to manufacture those products here in the United States. Wind is out there. We're seeing a significant increase in buildings now using geothermal. We have 45 schools in the state of Vermont that are heating with biomass. So the good news is we know what to do. We know that we need public transportation. We know that we need to rebuild our rail system. We know how to cut greenhouse gas emissions, and when we do that, we can save people money on their fuel bills. We cut greenhouse gas emissions, we create jobs in America. We've got a win-win-win situation, not the least of which is when we are now spending $350 billion a year importing oil from Saudi Arabia and other countries. Think of what we can do in transforming our energy system when we move to energy independence. So that is the goal. That is the goal. The goal is to transform our energy system. The goal is to have Vermont lead the nation in energy conservation and sustainable energy. The goal is to have the United States of America lead the world. And we can do that. And if we do that, and when we do that, 20, 30, 40 years from now, people will be looking back at what we have done today and say, thank you very much for help saving the planet. Thank you all very much.